Hi, I'm Colleen on the Smart Cookie Cook, and today I am craving some classic Italian comfort food. Growing up, spaghetti and meatballs was a staple meal in my house. My mom made some of the best sauce on the planet, and her making meatballs was always a big production. We always got to taste test them before she actually put them into the sauce. I've got two problems with that classic meal today though. One, it's loaded with fat and calories, and two, I'm a vegetarian now, so I can't eat the meatballs anymore. But does that mean we're out of luck? Certainly not. I'm making a delicious alternative today with veggie meatballs, if you will, and the most flavorful, fantastic, fresh spaghetti squash marinara you've ever had. Also, please excuse my cat scaling the window in the background. So the first thing we're going to take care of is putting together our meatballs. Got my food processor ready to rock. I put a halved small yellow onion in here. We're just going to give that a quick chop. So here's a whole can of kidney beans, about 3/4 of a cup of chickpeas, and then for some really fresh Italian flavor, gotta have fresh basil. Not dried. Don't you dare put dried in this. Now we're going to pulse this as well until it's nice and fine. So I have a large mixing bowl ready to go here, and I'm going to transfer our pureed mixture into the mixing bowl. Now let's get the rest of our ingredients in here. I'm doing a 1/4 cup of egg substitute or 1 egg, about 1/2 cup of fat-free ricotta cheese, 1/4 cup shredded parm, salt, lots of garlic. And then to really bulk things up with even more protein and heartiness, I'm going to use some brown rice. This is very similar to adding breadcrumbs to regular meatballs, except it's a lot better for you. See, it's about 1 cup. Now let's give it a stir. And then just to really ensure this binds together well, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Alright, are you ready to start rolling? I know I am. I want you to grab about 2 tablespoons of the mixture, roll it into a ball, plop it onto a well-greased baking sheet. It's gonna be messy, it's gonna be sticky, that's life, my friends. Alright, oven's preheated to 350. Let's get our little meatballs in the oven so they can get nice and golden brown. Now once our meatballs are getting close to being done, I want you to grab them out of the oven, because I got a little trick up my sleeve. What is the one big quality that people always look for in a good meatball? That they're nice and juicy. So here are your options. Either grab yourself some chicken stock, some beef stock, or if you want these to be completely vegetarian, some vegetable stock. And we're going to drizzle our meatballs with it as they finish baking. Then just return them to the oven to finish cooking. Now while those cook, let's work on our super simple and good for you spaghetti squash marinara. I'm going to start by adding about 1/4 cup of chicken stock to the pan. You can also use vegetable stock if you want to make this completely vegetarian. We're using this in place of olive oil to saute our onion in. This is 1 small yellow onion chopped. Alright, once these guys are sizzling, they're looking nice and soft and translucent, I'm going to add some garlic in. Now I had a spaghetti squash that I microwaved and gutted. These are the spaghetti squash innards that I just added to our pan because I only cooked them about 3/4 of the way in the microwave. They're going to finish cooking and get nice and tender with our onions and garlic here before we add any of the rest of the ingredients. Alright, I just pulled a fresh baked batch of our veggie meatballs out of the oven, and just like my mother used to let my sister and I taste test the meatballs that she made way back in the day, I'm going to taste test one right now. Alright, let's see what we got here. I think my mom would be proud if she tasted these. They're so hearty and garlicky and flavorful, they just taste like Italian goodness. Alright, time to make things nice and saucy here. I have a can of San Marzano tomatoes. I'm going to add the juices from these tomatoes. And I actually already separated the whole tomatoes from the can because they're big chunks of tomatoes, so I chopped them up, and I will add those chunks as well. Give things a stir. but I'm going to use a natural, no-calorie sweetener. And of course we need some salt. Remember that fresh basil? We're bringing it back. And I love just a little bit of heat in my marinara, so I've got some red pepper flakes. And we're just going to let that cook down for a few minutes. Alright, I am ready to enjoy this comforting Italian meal. I'm starving. I'm going to sit down to a big fat bowl of our spaghetti squash marinara and our veggie meatballs. Alright folks, it's time to dig into this delectable, flavorful Italian meal that we whipped up. It's fantastic. And with these tender meatballs, you cannot go wrong. So if you're looking for a new way to enjoy an old favorite, just ask yourself this: what would the Smart Cookie cook?